pajamas, and a towel. Don't question it. It's only 10:30 at night. Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace. This is a slightly unconventional video. I mean, it's not really, it's my brand of crazy. I have gotten slack in doing my mid-month chit chats. I think I only missed one at the last, quarter of this year, I think. Didn't actually go back to check, but I know I missed at least one. Anyway, point being, it's the 17th today. It's, about an hour and a half away from being the 18th today. And I haven't done a mid-month chit chat, and like a week from now is Christmas, and I need to get this done before I'm like completely doing other things. But I didn't think about this until after I'd taken a shower and done my let's go to bed thing, so I'm genuinely in my pajamas and I'm not changing. This is a shirt from when I was in a rec baseball league. I was like 12, 10, I don't know. Yep. It cracks me up, honestly, the way that it just perfectly fits my fully grown-up woman's body. I want to go find my mother's albums and look at the picture of me wearing this as like a 10-year-old, because I was tiny, ladies and gentlemen. I am still a small human, don't get me wrong, but I was like this big as a child. So there was nothing. There was no meat on my bones. I genuinely... I sank in a saltwater swimming pool because I had no body pad. Oh, guys, it's too late for me to make a video. I just started crying because I was laughing so hard at myself. Point being, I'm wearing my pajamas. I've had these sweats since I was a kid, too. There's, like, paint stains and things on them. Who knows what all it's... I'm not put together, and I don't really care. Anyway, okay, focusing. Sorry, it's way too late for this. Oh, guys, I have hedgy socks on, and they're like, I'm not flexible. They are roasting something over a campfire. I don't actually know what the hedgy is roasting. Shape-wise, it might be a hot dog, but it's orange. A carrot, maybe? A mealworm? Maybe he's roasting a mealworm. Anyway, gosh, what am I even talking about? What do we do in these videos? Yeah, so this video, if you haven't already picked up on this, has no script. I just set up the camera and I chat about my reading and writing life. So, we'll get reading out of the way first. Have not been reading. I have not been reading Longborn, which is the Pride and Prejudice fanfiction, basically. Haven't been reading it, so nothing on my TBR. And then also, you'll notice November's book is still up here because I haven't picked one for December. So that is still sitting there from when I did what? Yes, it's sitting there from when I did the reading recap. Has not moved since that day early in the month when I was like, these are the books I read in November. Nothing's changed. Okay. So, no reading, but the holidays are about to begin. I say about to. I don't actually get to go home until very close to Christmas, and it's tragedy. It's a tragedy. Anyway, the holidays are about to begin. The dog is spinning in a circle on my bed. I don't know what that was about. Anyway. Okay, I'm back. Camera died. Because of course it did. It would tonight, of all nights. It's chaos. Now I probably look absolutely crazy. Don't question anything. Oh yeah, oh I shouldn't do that. Hold on. Coming back, I swear. I remembered that the dog really loves my towel. I think something, my soap or my shampoo, she just really loves it. She loves it. So if my towel is within reach after a shower, she will grab it from wherever it is, drag it to the floor, and like roll all over it. Have not been reading. Writing-wise, in the past month, I finished NaNoWriMo 1. Kind of felt a little bit like cheating because I did end up using the 4,000 words that I wrote in Alan's book, which happened in November, but like wasn't specifically for my Nano story. So I don't know, it felt like cheating. Apart from that, Yeah, I finished writing Gisman's story. My critique partner went over it. We worked very hard together the night of publication to be able to hit the publish button. But technically the links are not live yet. It's taking a very long... Ah! Tea! Sorry, spilled tea on myself. Anyway, the links are delightful. Taking a while. So, have I published this book? It's debatable. I personally am going to count it because I worked so hard to hit that publish button on the date that I wanted it published. For nostalgic reasons, because the very first Robin Hood book that I ever published, the one I wrote at 17, was published on December 9th, and I wanted to do, like, we did the originals, we did the rewrites, we're finished with this whole saga on the 9th. But, like, technically didn't happen because they're not published yet, but, like, they are. Anyway, yeah. All of it was very rushed and not the way you should ever publish a book, ever. Don't do what I did. Because I had already published these books, and now I had, like, rewritten them, made them better, I kind of felt like maybe they didn't need desperately to be looked at by an actual editor. I'm still getting them looked at, and at some point next year I will add, you know, whatever changes are suggested by said editor. But I wasn't feeling the pressure to have them professionally looked at because they already were, and then I just, like, made them better stories. I don't know. This is what we did. We're not doing it again. I do have 3 more books that I need to rewrite in, I was going to say my Robin Hood series. That is incorrect. Just in the books that I published as Amanda Grace that I'm bringing over to Mandy. Yeah, 3 more books. I have a dystopian trilogy. I'm working on book 1 of that series. Forgotten how much I love this story and these characters. So good. The world building is non-existent. I don't even, there's just nothing. It's all super vague and nothing is making any sense whatsoever, but the characters are super vibrant, which is kind of how I roll in all the books that I write. I'm like, I know people really, really well. The end. I'm excited to dive into it because I actually really love the story and I love the characters, and I will probably strengthen the world building? Question mark. I've decided this is not actually a strong suit of mine. But we'll see what I can do with it. We're working on book 1 and we'll go from there. This is the book that I did you guys hear that? What the bottom of this mug, whatever it is, it's not smooth like the blue part, and it was catching on my sweats and making a weird crackling noise. You would think it was like 3 in the morning or something because I'm completely bananas right now. World building. Is that what I was talking about? I don't know. It's very vague. Oh, isolated. Yes, so this book, I wrote just completely into the dark. Without a plan. Listen, I don't plot extensively. I am not a plotter. But I usually have an idea of what's happening. Or, if I don't know in the first draft, I do know in the second draft when I self-edit this book. So, like the Robin Hood books, I knew going into it the, like, vague story that I needed, right? Of, like, we were going to end with the king coming home and Robin winning and getting the girl, right? That's what we're building towards. And all the shenanigans in the middle, I was making up on the spot. But, like, I knew where I was going. Oh, gosh. And with this story, I had literally no idea what was happening. So, like, I was writing and just decided that there was an army that showed up. And then the mom just started talking about the army as if she knew who they were. And then I was like, what is happening, you guys? I don't even know. What is going on? It's literally, so like in book 2, because I had the basis of book 1, And then I also, I don't know, approached it slightly differently and, you know, made a plan. In book 2, I knew kind of what I was doing. In book 3, I knew kind of what I was doing. Obviously, I'm still a discovery writer, so I discover things as I'm writing the first draft. Always. That happens no matter how much I plot beforehand. I will learn things about characters or the world or whatever and be like, oh, that's genius. And then in self-editing, I go back and insert it so it looks like I knew what I was doing the whole time. But with book 1 in my dystopian trilogy, it was so much bigger than discovery writing. It was just like, and then there's a volcano. Like, why? Anyway, I don't know. It was just, I had no idea what was happening. And it was insane. There's like this really intricate storyline with like this, I'm gonna spoil everything. Listen, guys, there's like human experimentation happening, and there's like things, okay? There's things. And in books 2 and book 3, the things kind of actually make sense, because at that point, I had figured out the backstory and I knew what was happening. But in book 1, I was as clueless as the people in the story, as my readers who read the book that I did not fix to make it look like I knew what I was doing. I was just writing it being like, what is going on? I don't know. Do you know? Because what is it? Who knows? I got to the very end of the book and I still had no idea what was happening. I was like, okay, that was fun. It was some weird fever dream, and I'm gonna publish it. Yeah, so it's a disaster is what I'm getting at. It's the most disastrous of any of my books, because my 5 Robin Hood books weren't well written because I had no skill, because I was 17. So those were like their own kind of like, this is a mess, but like I can see the story here, and I can pull out the story and polish it and make it beautiful, and it is. And they're in the description, except for the last one, if you want to buy them and read them. But with my dystopian trilogy, book 1 is just kind of like, I don't know, man. Who's in charge? Because it's not the author. She has no idea what's happening. I don't think I said at the beginning of this video that I don't have a script. I said that, but I usually follow that with I drink tea out of this mug. And that's not super important, but I was about to take a drink and then I was like, if this is your first time to this video, you don't know that this is like a tradition. I have to drink tea out of this mug. Anyway. I don't know where all of this energy has come from. Isolated is a disaster. It's a disaster, and it's fine. It's... Guys. I don't think I have accurately, like, expressed to you how bizarre this book is. Because genuinely, nothing makes sense. And not in a, like, I'm writing a mystery, psychological thriller thing and you're not supposed to know what's happening. It doesn't make sense. Nothing adds up. Because I was just like, I don't know. The mother's crazy. Who knows why? Oh, wait, maybe what happened was... like, I don't... Oh, it's so insane. Anyway, yeah, it's a whole situation. And I don't know how I'm gonna rewrite it, you guys, because it's just random stuff happening in no particular order, and none of the stuff makes sense. I've apparently been ranting for 20 minutes. My camera turned off again. I have not even been talking about anything important. How has it been 20 minutes? Writing. So I finished Gisbin, kind of published it, but it's not live yet. Isolated is a hot mess, but I'm super excited to rewrite it. Point is, yes, we're on book 6 of 8. I'm not going to get all 8 this year, but we made it to book 6. So I think we did amazing. Like, who writes 6 books in a year? Also, those 6 books being like 130,000 words long, 120,000 words long. I don't remember what Legend of the Thief is. Like 95,000 words long. Like, so many words. 4 of the books doubled in size. And the last book added 25,000 extra words. Gosh, I did not know what to add to book 5. Anyway, that's a story for a different day. We've talked too much already. I'm rewriting Isolated. We'll probably be done rewriting by the end of the year? Question mark? Don't really care if I'm not. I'm taking the dystopian trilogy slowly, calmly, at whatever pace I see fit. And I will republish them whenever they're done. No deadlines, no pressure. We are not going crazy. Also next year, gosh, I'm planning so many things. So I'm rewriting the Dystopian trilogy, which is going to bleed into next year. I'm doing the extra professional edits on my Robin Hood series next year. And then I'm going to be diving back into my fantasy series and writing book 4 in my whatever it is, the fantasy series. It doesn't really, there's no, like, title for the series or the books yet. Anyway, we'll be writing book 4 and then maybe get into editing of books 1 through 3. They're kind of disastrous first drafts right now, but it's fine. Also, I've taken an entire year off of them, which means when I go back to them, it will be with real fresh eyes, which means I will notice all of the things that are wrong with it. It's gonna be scary, but it'll be fine. Also, I've written 5 books in between that break, and I'd like to think that I learn things and grow with every book that I write, and then on top of that, I've been in Quilling Cup, my writing group, for a year now, and we learn so many things on craft, on psychology, like using the Enneagram to plot characters. That blew my mind this year. Anyway, I have learned a lot as an author in between the break and getting back into the fantasy series, which I think is also going to make it glaringly obvious where everything is wrong. But the nice thing about that, though, is that I am going to be able to take all of this knowledge that I have learned and gleaned over the last year and a half or whatever, and make these stories into something actually epic. You know? I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like with all of the stuff I've been learning and the ways I've been growing and yada yada, that fantasy series is going to be so much better than it would have been otherwise. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm just sort of rambling about nonsense. Yeah, so I haven't been reading. Have done a lot of writing this year. Yes, but I'm currently reading through book 1 in the Dystopian trilogy, and then I'll rewrite it at some point. So this was a completely chaotic video, and deciding to do this basically in the middle of the night was not a great idea, perhaps, but it happened, and here we are. Anyway. Oh, I'm gonna take my chaotic self to bed. But in the meantime, 4 out of 5 of my Robin Hood books, possibly 5 by the time this goes live, are available, ebook and paperback. Distributors are linked in the description. Go read them. And subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with the chaotic rewriting of things. I don't even know what I'm saying. I hate doing outros, A. And B, I hate the, like, call to action situation. You know? It's awkward and feels narcissistic, and I hate it. And I'd gotten fairly good at being like, Robin Hood books, description, whatever, in the last, like, 2 or 3 months. But honestly, I still cringe so hard on the inside as I'm saying it. It's